skinny arms, narrow shoulders, no abs either. You got some nice love handles and belly fat. This is skinny fat. And if you can relate to this description, then I need you to watch this video because I'm gonna tell you what you need to do and what you need to avoid to stop being skinny fat and finally get that aesthetic physique that you've always wanted. What's up, boys? So my name is Vicente and I've been skinny fat like my whole life. I think at the later end, before I started working out, I was just kind of skinny. I was on the skinnier side. That's just because I was starving myself, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Because I was super insecure about my belly fat. But I was always skinny fat. And with that comes a lot of challenges. And I made a bunch of mistakes and learned from those mistakes. And I'm gonna share those lessons with you. So my first point is when you first start, do not cut. I promise you, this is the worst decision you can make. I got so skinny, bro. I was barely even working out, but I just went on a super crazy cut. It was not worth it. You gotta stay at a steady weight because you're gonna realize, yes, you'll have some abs, but first off, they probably won't even be that defined. And second of all, bro, your arms are gonna be like sticks, bro. You're gonna look like you haven't eaten in months, okay? So that's the first thing, is just don't go on a cut right when you start. So I'm gonna show you two pictures. So here's a picture of when I was cutting. And let's really look at it here. I wanted abs. And honestly, the abs were looking kind of good, but I had no muscle. And then I just became skinny. Like I had zero muscle mass. Now let's look at a picture of me when I was bulking. Again, I wanted to put on some size and I got size. Bro, I was not looking good. That was not my best moment, I'm not gonna lie. The amount of face fat and belly fat I had, bro, oh my God. So do you wanna look like either of those pictures? Probably not. So this goes into my first point. Listen to what people have been telling you and don't do extreme cuts and bulks, especially if you're skinny fat. Us skinny fat guys, we have to realize that we have pretty bad genetics in gaining muscle, but we can gain fat pretty quickly. So bulking is not gonna do anything. And then what's probably gonna happen is you bulk, you realize you're way too fat, so then you cut. And then the thing is, when you cut, you'll realize you didn't even gain that much muscle mass. You just gained a bunch of fat. And that's what always messed with my head because I really thought I gained muscle. And then when I cut, I pretty much looked the same. You need to play the slow game. Don't get this instant gratification of trying to get abs, trying to get big, because it's just gonna lead to a really bad cycle. Just try to stay consistent. And my next point is to main gain and or body recomp. Honestly, I don't really know the difference, but what I'm gonna say is if you're a bit more on the like fat side of skinny fat, then I want you to do like a 100 calorie deficit. Not even that much, just like 100 calories. And then if you're more on the skinny side, like I was, do 100 calorie surplus and stay in that range for your whole journey. Honestly, you don't really need to do any more. You're still gonna gain a lot of muscle. And lastly, you need to get the underdog mentality. Obviously, don't go too far with this. You don't wanna be the guy who's blaming genetics on everything, even though you be skipping like half your gym sessions. You have to accept that you have those genetics, but to counteract that, you're just gonna have to work way harder than everyone else. And you really need to know that. You need to work harder than everyone else. Because I'm sure we all know that one guy, like in high school, who'd be eating like ramen and Pop-Tarts. Bro, I could name like 10 of them off the top of my head. They would eat the worst diets. They probably work out like twice a week. And honestly, they're still bigger than me now. And I've been going to the gym for a couple years now. So genetics does really have to play a role, but you can't let that discourage you from trying. Because if you don't try as hard and you're eating your Pop-Tarts and stuff, bro, you cannot get away with that, I promise you. So you need to be really strict with your diet and really strict with your training. Go really intense, like have such intense training. Like I said, you can't really get away with slacking off, so just go all out. So in summary, pretty much just don't cut or bulk too far. You need to keep a steady weight and you'll gain muscle without having to go through a bunch of cycles of hard cutting, hard bulking. Trust me, even if you're not skinny fat, this is gonna save you so much like mental load. And it is gonna be slower in your head. Honestly, it's not even gonna be slower. In your head, it's gonna be slower because you're not gonna be gaining a bunch of weight like you would on a bulk. But trust me, over time, it's pretty much the same thing. And lastly, work as hard as you can because it's not gonna come easy. And if you want some other tips like your style or how to glow up, then I have some videos right here you can watch. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.